Huh? Oh, it's you.
Hey, how's it going?
Just counting these centuries clocks in this clock car. What are you doing here? You don't even live here.
I've been summoned by 1-1 to help 2020 and after passengers to find their exit. You're next on the list.
I appreciate your help, but how can I deal with what your brother has done to us and the Earth?
It's not his fault. He was caused by man.
Huh?
Our Father Time did not make our appearances and behaviors all by himself. He only created our newborn souls, while we collect data from the people's actions on Earth and manifest ourselves into our current forms.
What do you mean?
My brother, 2016, used to cosplay as Deadpool for how successful the movie was, but ever since anger, celebrity deaths, and divide reactions became major, he's now literally cut in half.
Is that why 2020 looks so wasted and you're acting like a park ranger?
That's right. Though I don't know if this form is permanent or my appearance or personality will drastically change as I go along.
Then how can I be ready for what you're going to bring?
Well, since you're here, why don't you talk about its latest season?
Once again, we are boarding the train to see who's the next passenger on this adventure. Infinity Train has already proven to be the best anime series of all time, with some memorable characters, beautiful animation, and great storytelling and themes. However, unlike the other two seasons, Season 3 decided to be available exclusively on the new debut streaming service, HBO Max. In fact, the series was supposed to debut on the streaming service from the very beginning, but couldn't do it due to HBO Max's original 2019 date being delayed. So even though the series debuted on Cartoon Network, it was already a critical acclaim. But now that the train has disembarked to its new yet originally intended station, it's time to see the new rails that awaits us for Book 3.
You sure you want to hear this review? You're gonna be in for a crazy ride.
I'm not afraid.
Very well. This is Infinity Train Book 3, Cult of the Conductor.
Before I discuss the plot of Book 3, here's a brief recap of Season 2 involving the Apex. There are a bunch of kids that actually prefer staying on the train as their personal paradise and having their numbers go up. They're being led by Grace and Simon, who only believe that Amelia, the villain from Season 1, in her robot suit, is the true conductor, and think 1-1, the real conductor, is a phony. They show their support of Amelia, the false conductor, by attacking innocent residents of the train, vandalizing and stealing their properties, calling them null, meaning they're entirely nothing at all, and other harmful factors to get what they want and raise their numbers to reach the quote-unquote high score of the game. In the third season, Simon and Grace get separated from the Apex and they come across a little girl named Hazel and a purple gorilla named Tuba. This gives the commanders of the Apex an opportunity to have her join their group, but they had to make their way back to the Apex car and try to lose Tuba. This season is the first time in the series that it doesn't revolve around Tulip or anything related to her, but the shocking thing about Book 3 is this is the darkest the show has ever been. Yes, there were some disturbing moments from the previous season, like the steward, but numbers are the only ones that are going up. At the beginning of Season 3, it started as simple car jumping that we remember from the previous ones with new locations and interactions from the main characters. But when we reach the second half of the chapter, after completing the color clock car, things get a lot gruesome and present new mysteries. But what separates this from the previous books and what makes Book 3 stand out is that it acts as a commentary about the dangers of toxic cults. The Apex is the example of the kind that only values their own unrealistic personal philosophies and conspiracy theories that the train was made for them, worship someone as some sort of god, and attack others for not having those types of values, or just hate them because they're different. Basically, Cult and Conductor is considered the most serious subject matter of the series, and it gives us a glimpse about the rise and falls of the Apex, where one sees the truth about the train and its purpose, but the other side prefers to stick with their own beliefs to try to get things back to normal in blind rage, even though the truth is right in front of them.
Let me guess, ahead of its time?
Right on the dot. There will be some lighthearted moments, so it will at least balance things out, including the characters.
I pretty much knew which characters in particular will be the new focus for Season 3, but the new cast present a lot of complexity. Let's begin with the leaders of the Apex, Grace and Simon. Grace is the founder of the cult that wants things go her way, and Simon is the genius second command that follows her orders. Their friendship is considered the center of Book 3. We get some backstory on how Grace got on the train, how she met Simon, what made them believe Amelia was the prime conductor, and their creation of the Apex as a team. But ever since they found Hazel, there's a rift that seriously affects their work and friendship. Grace is learning that everything she made up about the conductor and numbers are wrong, but she's struggling to admit that. While Simon refused to believe the truth because he's afraid of feeling betrayed and won't go back to normal with Grace, the Apex, and his past connection involving the cat is what fuels him on his hatred towards the inhabitants of the train. Amelia does make an appearance where she's trying to help 1-1 with train issues so she can get her exit, but even after she reveals the truth and the purpose of the train, the conflict involving Grace and Simon's friendship still resumes. As for Hazel, she's a carefree girl who is being protected by a motherly and powerful gorilla, Tuba. However, in her Infinity Train twist, she has a number that doesn't glow, and her reason for being a passenger on the train remains a mystery. And back onto the commentary on cults, she even questions if the Apex really is a special place for her.
The leaders of the Apex have been going on and on saying it's a club made especially for brave and special kids, yet they're secluded and even scared of the train characters, including Tuba. Even though they're not real people, they're still living beings that have homes, jobs, and even families. That's how life on the train works, not some sick Grand Theft Auto game. Do you want me to bring back the comparisons I made with Undertale from my previous video?
No thanks, I got the picture. So, does that mean Hazel is also afraid of the two commanders?
You're half right. Her interactions play an important role if Grace stays true on helping and protecting her even through drastic events.
You said Season 3 is different story-wise, but what about animation-wise?
We're still venturing through infinite amount of train cars, and each of them did not disappoint. All the human character animations are down to earth. Others like Tuba, the cat, and the origami bird stay true to their respectable animal counterparts, have a small appearance but still imaginative like the campfire car or the golden winged snake car, and some are expressive on how loony they are like Roy the color clock, Randall, and the chandelier. Speaking of which, with each car they travel, they take us to familiar areas but still introduce us to new places, from the radiant jungle to the civilized ballroom to the color mazes. Plus, some of the visuals got an update with the use of technology created by Simon and Amelia and the use of the passengers' numbers, whether they go up or down. And there's no giving it away, there are several scary moments in the season, especially the final episode of Book 3. It presents some disturbing imageries during some memory tapes and turns innocent and peaceful places like the musical car into a broken down abandoned theater because of the Apex's attack.
Strange. Didn't the show used to be colorful and imaginative?
It is. It can be both colorful and dark at the same time. That's why Infinity Train has grown a massive following. This is the true why Book 3 is the most memorable of the series.
Infinity Train Cult of the Conductor is the most thought-provoking season of the entire series. The message is strong and complex, the animation is wonderful like always, the episodes are lighthearted but also scary at the same time, and the characters are memorable and well developed. This is a must-watch season for Infinity Train fans and newcomers. Admittedly, it's darker than the first two seasons, but once you see it, you'll understand. I always liked the series since the beginning, and this was no different. I actually find it the best of the three. I've been thinking about what should I give it, and I decided to give it an A+ and the Diploma of Destiny.
See, my number barely got down, so what big lesson I'm supposed to learn from you?
Perhaps we'll go straight down the throat. Why don't you talk about what's happening to the show?
How is this better at all?
Just try. You might find your exit.
Well, it's currently in a limbo situation.
After the release of Book 3, Infinity Train creator Owen Dennis said that his show is at risk for not being renewed for a fourth season on HBO Max. The reason why he made that claim is regarding Cartoon Network and HBO Max is concerned that the show's stories and themes may be too dark and unappealing to kids. Plus, the whole crew had been laid off after production and everyone's getting new jobs. Dennis and the whole team want to make more episodes, but they will only do it based on the viewership on HBO Max. His main goal for Infinity Train is to reach up to 8 seasons, hence the symbol. He even expressed interest on making an Infinity Train movie starring Amelia and comic books that are canon. To me, Infinity Train shouldn't end on Season 3 over its darkness because the series was always a dark series to begin with We've seen areas of the train both in and out, and the characters what we root or look out for. Even the themes, as mature as they are handled really well. We can't judge it based on who or what should be appealing towards. If it's going to be a dark anthology series, let it be a dark anthology series. My point is, there are still some unanswered questions that are worth exploring, and the only one who decides when the show should be over is the creator.
And can you tell me why?
Because we accepted Infinity Train for what it is, a dark anime series, and it was awesome!
Now, why did Tulip got her exit from book 1?
Because she accepted the changes in her life.
How did Lake get her exit even though she was an inhabitant of the train?
Because Jesse accepted her as a person.
Now let me ask you this. If you accepted the worst moments from 2020, can you accept the good moments from it as well? Your internship, your milestone, the Pixar movies, TV animation, and the video games you saw throughout the year?
Yes. I will not forget nor ignore the past, but can you still bring the Earth a bright future?
For now, but when my time is up, a new year will arise.
Well, whatever happens to this train, whether it gets renewed or not, guess we'll have to accept whichever outcome.
That's how time works. It changes everything, and you have to see it for yourself.
When I look at you, I see me. And when I look at me, I see you.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe me for a new review and other project every week. I'll see you soon.